Have you ever wondered why some people seem to accumulate wealth effortlessly while others struggle? Could it be that they think differently? Welcome, dear listener. Today we dive into the fascinating world of mental models and their substantial influence on our ability to accumulate wealth. You see, our minds aren't just passive observers of reality, they actively shape our perception of the world. And this perception forms our mental models, the ideas and beliefs we hold about how things work. Harvard Business Review explains mental models as the prism through which we view and understand our world. They guide our thoughts, actions, and decisions, and guess what? They are instrumental in determining our financial success or failure. Let's consider this. Do you believe that money is the root of all evil, or that wealth is only for the lucky few? If you do, these mental models could be holding you back from financial success because they shape your actions and decisions around money. On the other hand, if you perceive wealth as a result of hard work, smart decisions, and strategic investments, this mental model sets you on a path to financial prosperity. You see, it's not just about having a lot of money, it's about how you think about money. Studies from Forbes have shown that successful entrepreneurs, the ones we often label as rich, share common mental models. They view failure as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. They see opportunities where others see problems. They understand the value of time and invest it wisely. In essence, our mental models are like the operating systems of our minds. They run in the background, influencing our every action, decision, and reaction. They can either propel us towards wealth or keep us stuck in financial stagnation. So it seems that the way we think, our mental models can significantly impact our wealth. But how exactly does this work? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the mysterious workings of our minds in the following scenes. What exactly are these mental models we're talking about? Well, let's dive in and unpack this concept. Mental models, in essence, are the frameworks that help us understand the world around us. They're like the lenses through which we see and interpret our environment, events, and interactions. They shape our perceptions, guide our behavior, and influence our decision-making process. Think of them as the internal maps we use to navigate through life's complexities. Now, this isn't a newfangled idea that's just popped up in the last decade or so. The concept of mental models has roots that go deep into the heart of psychology, and it's been researched and refined by some of the greatest minds in the field. Take, for instance, the work of Kenneth Craik. This British psychologist was one of the early pioneers in conceptualizing mental models. He proposed that the brain constructs small-scale models of reality that it uses to anticipate events. In other words, we're constantly creating and updating our mental models based on our experiences and the information we take in. Then there's Philip Johnson Laird, another renowned psychologist who further developed the concept of mental models. He suggested that our mental models are not fixed, but rather they evolve and change with new experiences and knowledge. This means that our mental models can be refined, improved, or even completely transformed over time. What's fascinating about mental models is that they're not one size fits all. Each of us has a unique set of mental models shaped by our individual experiences, beliefs, and knowledge. They're as unique as our fingerprints, and they play a pivotal role in how we perceive the world and navigate through it. So, mental models are not just abstract concepts. They're practical, dynamic tools that we use every single day, often without even realizing it. They're the invisible architects of our thoughts and actions, silently guiding us through the maze of life. Now that we have a clearer understanding of what mental models are, let's see how they connect with wealth. So, how do mental models influence wealth accumulation? To answer that question, let's turn our attention to some groundbreaking research conducted by behavioral economists like Daniel Kahneman and Richard Thaler. These economic gurus have dedicated their careers to understanding the profound impact of mental models on our financial decisions. For instance, Kahneman, a Nobel laureate, has delved into the human tendency to overestimate the likelihood of rare events. This mental model, often called the availability heuristic, can lead us to make irrational financial decisions, like spending large sums on lottery tickets or insurance against unlikely disasters. This is a classic case of our mental models skewing our perception of risk, leading us to make decisions that might not serve our financial interests in the long run. Similarly, Richard Thaler, another Nobel laureate, has explored the concept of mental accounting. This mental model refers to the way we categorize and treat money differently based on where it comes from, where it is kept, or how it is spent. For example, we might splurge with a tax refund, treating it as found money, even though it's just as valuable as our hard-earned salary. This mental model can lead us astray from the path of wealth accumulation by encouraging frivolous spending. Moreover, our mental models also play a significant role in decision-making under uncertainty. We often rely on heuristics or mental shortcuts to make complex decisions. While these shortcuts can be useful, they can also lead us to overlook important information or misjudge probabilities, influencing our investment decisions and thus our wealth. Lastly, let's consider the role of mental models in long-term planning. Those who have a mental model of future self-continuity, seeing their future selves as directly connected to their present selves, are more likely to save for the future. This highlights how our mental models can either facilitate or hinder our journey towards financial prosperity. Clearly, our mental models can make a big difference when it comes to wealth. But can we change our mental models? Can we change our mental models to think more like the wealthy? Now that's a question that has intrigued cognitive scientists for decades. The answer, simply put, is yes. Our mental models are not set in stone. They are malleable, adaptable, and can be shaped to serve us better. Consider the work of Carol Dweck, a renowned cognitive scientist. She proposed the concept of a growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. This is a mental model that champions learning and resilience, a stark contrast to a fixed mindset, which assumes that our abilities are static and unchangeable. So how do we go about changing our mental models? The first step is to challenge our existing assumptions. We need to question the beliefs that we have held on to, often without question, for years. Do they still serve us, or do they limit our potential? For instance, if we believe that wealth is exclusive to a lucky few, we are unlikely to seek out opportunities for financial growth. Next, we need to seek diverse perspectives. Engaging with different viewpoints can help us see the world in new ways and open us up to possibilities we might have never considered. This could mean reading books by successful entrepreneurs, listening to podcasts about wealth creation, or even having conversations with people who have achieved financial success. Another strategy is to practice visualization. Picture yourself as wealthy. What does it mean to you? Is it having a comfortable home, being able to travel at will, or perhaps the freedom to pursue your passions without worrying about bills? By visualizing your success, you can start to align your mental models with those of the wealthy. By consciously shaping our mental models, we can start to think more like the wealthy. But what does this look like in practice? Well, we'll delve into that in the next scene. Stay tuned. What does a wealth-oriented mental model look like in action? Imagine the world as a chessboard. The wealthy individuals, the grandmasters of this game, don't simply move their pieces haphazardly. Each move is deliberate, part of a broader strategy, a mental model designed to ensure success. One way the wealthy use mental models is by prioritizing long-term planning. They understand that wealth is not an overnight sensation, but a marathon. They are patient, investing their time and resources with a view to the long game. They don't rush for short-term gains, but steadily build their wealth over time, like a gardener nurturing a tree from a seedling to a fully grown oak. Another key element of a wealthy mindset is calculated risk-taking. The wealthy know that while risk is inherent in the pursuit of wealth, not all risks are created equal. They don't gamble, they invest. They evaluate potential opportunities and threats, and make informed decisions. They understand that sometimes the biggest risk is not taking any risk at all. Continuous learning is another critical aspect of a wealth-oriented mental model. The wealthy never stop learning. They grow their knowledge like a compounding interest. They read, they network, they seek out new experiences and ideas. They understand that the more they learn, the better they can navigate the world and its opportunities. Thomas Stanley, a noted researcher, studied the habits of the wealthy and found these traits to be common among them. His studies corroborated that the wealthy do think differently. They have a unique mental model, one that views the world not as a series of obstacles, but as a landscape of opportunities. By adopting a wealth-oriented mental model, we can start to see the world through a different lens, one that opens up opportunities for wealth accumulation. So change the way you think and you might just change your fortunes.